and welcome back to League Football Weekly. In today's video, I will be analyzing the match between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund who faced each other in the DFL Super Cup. Tolisso and Muller gave Bayern a 2-0 lead in the first half, but a mistake in their own half cost Bayern a goal as Brandt scored one past Neuer. Dortmund quickly equalized 10 minutes into the second half, but conceded a goal in the 83rd minute courtesy of a mistake from Delaney in their own half. Now let's quickly take a look at the formation used by both the teams. Let's see how Bayern attacked when they had the ball. Although Bayern scored two of their three goals from the central area of the pitch, they attacked through the flanks throughout the whole game. Let's see how Bayern attacked through the illustration. While Sule has the ball, Dortmund keep their 5-man pressing shape intact. To support Sule, Martinez moves in this 5-man pressing shape. For further support, Kimmich and Muller also start moving towards their own half. Brandt moves a little inward to cut the passing lane between Muller and Sule. Due to this adjustment, Dortmund's 5-man pressing shape is now distorted, and that gives Sule enough time to pass the ball to Pavard. As soon as Pavard receives the ball, Passlack has no choice but to press him. Otherwise, Pavard is in empty space and can easily cross the ball inside the Dortmund D. Passlack leaves a lot of empty space behind him as he presses Pavard, and Muller can now easily exploit the space, taking Akanji along with him. Dahoud is forced to cover Kimmich as Brandt and Delaney are not in the picture and he has no other choice. Pavard easily dribbles past Passlack as he loses balance, and we see that if Pavard crosses the ball into the box and Dortmund manage to clear it, Tolisso is in so much empty space he can attempt a shot or line up a cross. Dortmund's pressing tactics often overloaded one side of the pitch with the ball with too many men, and that left them vulnerable on the other side of the pitch. Bayern every now and then exploited this flaw and also managed to score a goal with it as Davies crossed the ball into the box and Muller scored an easy goal. Let's take a look at how Dortmund attacked when they had the ball. Dortmund's pressing mechanism was pretty strong when Bayern were deep inside their own half. Let's take a look at the illustration to understand how it worked. As Davies passes the ball to Hernandez, Hernandez takes a look around and decides to pass the ball to Martinez, who again drops between the 5-man pressing mechanism of Dortmund to provide support to Sule and Hernandez. Haaland and Dahoud start moving towards Martinez as soon as he receives the ball to cut out his passing option and prevent him from turning around and playing a locked ball to Koeman or Muller. Royce also starts moving towards Sule to man-mark him and eliminate him as a passing option. Martinez is now forced to play a back pass to Neuer. As Hernandez and Sule are risky passing options, Neuer decides to pass the ball to Pavard, who is on the far right side. Passlack charges towards Pavard as soon as the ball leaves Neuer's feet. As we can see in the illustration, Dortmund's 5-man pressing mechanism is still intact. Kimmich moves between the 5 men to become a passing option for Pavard, but Pavard, instead of passing the ball to Kimmich, decides to pass it to Muller, who has started moving inside towards his own half. Along with Muller, Akanji also moves inside the Bayern half as he is man-marking Muller and intercepts the pass given to Muller by Pavard. Akanji's interception gives the ball to Royce on the left flank, who passes it to Haaland in one touch, who dribbles it a little bit along the D line and then passes it to Brandt, who scores a beautiful goal. Let's take a look how Bayern defended. Bayern always look to overload the player with the ball with 2 or 3 players as to force him into a back pass or make him clear the ball up the field. Let's see how Bayern did this with the help of the illustration. Javi Martinez acted as a substitute defender in case one defender was out of position. The same happens here. Pavard starts to press Passlack as soon as he receives the ball, and Javi Martinez quickly takes Pavard's place in the defense, completing the back four. As Pavard is already blocking the forward path, Tolisso and Muller also start pressing him. As Tolisso starts pressing Passlack, Koeman quickly takes Tolisso's place in the field as to eliminate any empty space left behind by him. Let's look at how Dortmund defended. Dortmund followed a 3-4-3 system while attacking, but switched to a 5-2-3 system while defending. Martinez dropped between Sule and Hernandez to make a back three, while Davies and Pavard went wide on their wings. Dortmund's front five made a pentagon which did not allow central passes and forced the Bayern players either to go back to Neuer or play the ball to their wingbacks or lob it up the field. Bayern players sometimes moved in this pentagon to receive the ball and start the center progression. As Kimmich tries to move in this pentagon, Hummels follows him and Delaney also puts pressure on him so that when he receives the ball, he either passes it back to Neuer or is dispossessed. Dortmund's defensive tactics were a lot dependent on this pentagon. If the pentagon lost its shape, Bayern were easily able to play the ball through the middle. Now, let's move on to the key players of the match. Alphonso Davies was formidable in this match. He had the highest number of touches, made 2 interceptions, and also assisted Muller's headed goal. Joshua Kimmich gave a man of the match performance. His pass accuracy was 91%, he had 4 shots on target and also scored the winning goal in the 83rd minute. Emre Can seems to be settling well as a centre back in a three-man defence. He won 2 aerial battles, had 5 clearances, and made 2 tackles. Apart from his mistake that cost Dortmund the game, Delaney was pretty good throughout the match. He had a pass accuracy of 74%, he made 3 interceptions, and also assisted Haaland's goal. Both Bayern and Dortmund conceded goals due to their own mistakes, which could have easily been prevented. On the other hand, if we just keep the goals in mind, the match was pretty well balanced. Bayern dominated the first half, whereas Dortmund dominated the second. A mistake from Delaney in the 83rd minute gifted Bayern the goal. Otherwise, at the end of 90 minutes, the score would have been 2-2. This was my tactical analysis of the DFL Super Cup final played between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. If you liked the analysis of the match, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel.